we're gonna be a researcher. We're investigating a new life form, and we have to figure out what we're going to do with it, if we're going to help it or hinder it. And our country is putting their faith in us to make the right decision. And there's a lot of talk about politics and war and stuff in it, is what some of the warnings say. So be prepared for that. And there are plant creatures that we're going to be investigating. There are some it says light jump scares and some flashing lights. So just be warned. Just be warned. But I'll be here, Cozy Gang. Don't worry. I will keep you safe. As safe as I can. We'll see if we can save ourselves and them as well. In our country. We'll see. We'll see what happens. But let me get my stuff. And let me get it started. Here's some of the warning. There is some politics, depiction of death and gore and such. Brave researchers, your nation needs you. What emerges from the forest threatens us all. What emerges from the forest liberates us all. Yeah. Genocide, I see that on TV, yes. The janitor. Should this organism live or die? The virus. But hey, Scott, welcome in. Neutrality is not an option. Uh-oh. So yeah, we got some tough decisions to make in this. Love is deception, germinated in desperation. Ooh. And how is the audio on this? Is it good? Just making sure. I checked it a little bit earlier off stream, but I wanted to see what y'all think. So yeah. Just from the trailer, just the first, idea kind of thing. It has like a Last of Us type, but a plant vibe to it kind of thing. More, not just like the fungus, but like more plant mad scientist type thing. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. The creatures, the designs and stuff look really cool in this too. So I was just like, I think we want to try this. This is brought to us by Deadline Studios. You know we love indie comics. We love indie comics, but we also love indie game developers as well. And we wanna check out and support awesome games as well. So we are working for EPA, and we are a volunteer researcher. Nice. So yeah, we're gonna see what happens. So let's start, my friends. Ahem. Attention, employee code number EPPA 9671. Shake the anesthesia off. Oh. We have anesthesia? Alright. Attention, employee code EPPA 96671. Shake the anesthesia off. There's a dozen more of you will be heroes to get through, so we're going to speed through the script HR has prepared. Starting off, congratulations, you have been promoted! Your official Day Zero debrief as a senior pathogens researcher begins now. Nice. As an expert in the field of environmental toxology, you have been hand-selected for Project Spore Site. Nice. You will work independently alongside some of the nation's leading researchers, studying the newly identified and potentially dangerous species provisionally designated as the Vivus glorium. Researcher, what's your name? Oh wait, hang on. It looks like I skipped the introduction section entirely. Let me just backtrack here. Any temporal pain or confusion you're currently experiencing is a common side effect of neuroimplantations and will subside within the hour. Oh nice, oh nice. This discomfort caused by the TRACE chip which you voluntarily agreed to have installed in your hippocampus for the betterment of mankind. We totally volunteered. Furthermore, I regret to inform you that you may experience increased discomfort knowing that you are now prohibited from leaving facility grounds. Nice. We can't leave. That is until the mandatory assessment period concludes in 10 days. Alright, we got 10 days. At the end of your service to Project Spore Site, your chip will be safely removed. Fun. You may be asking, now why do I need to be chipped? Good question. All you need to know is this chip is a safeguard for any and all sensitive information discovered within the lab. It ensures strict compliance with the mission's security protocols. In the event you experience certain side effects like blindness, seizures, altered perceptions of reality, and other adverse side effects, well, that is not normal, and you should immediately report for medical inspection. Oh dear.
Oh no, it all went wrong!
Hey, Viet. How's it going? I have a feeling that's gonna be the case with this one. And enjoy the lurk, so hey, soliloquy. And we've been chipped. We've been chipped too. Just prepping you for the jump scares. Thank you, Viet. Because usually you get me while I'm drawing, but no art tonight. Only Otome Games. By now, you've no doubt noticed that you can't recollect how you arrived here. So we've been chipped. We had anesthesia on us. And we're a little bit groggy. We can't leave the research facility. But we can't remember how we got here. This sounds very legit. This sounds very, very voluntary. Again, this is due to the TRACE chip you have agreed to insert within your hippocampus. Please turn your attention to the table before you. Table. There you find your lab identification card. Fill in your name, provide your preferred pronouns, and stamp your thumbprint. Anything else? Hey. Cool. We can be We can be Dr. Steen. There's a lot of customization going on here. Well, that's my eyes. I have like hazel eyes, but we'll stick a little green. Yeah. This is gonna be the whole stream now, Steam just doing this. Do that. I like having lots of options. Get some eyelashes. I need to change my hair color. I like that they have so many different options. Where it'd be really cool and have our hair go over our eye. Even though we're doing science, I might put us with long hair, even though it's very irresponsible to have it dealing. We're gonna have pigtails. That sounds good. Oh. Steen's having lots of fun. Yeah. Hey Kath, how are you doing? We're trying to create our character. I have a little bit of wrinkles because we're of a certain age. We definitely have freckles. Got me freckles. Good. How's it going? Pretty good. I think this game, it says it has some pseudo jump scares, and there's gonna be some, we're researching these plant creatures, and we have to decide if we want to save them or destroy them, so it might get a little spooky, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. We're doing very safe scientific research with one eye covered, because that's what I wanted to do. I'm very responsible. Very responsible. I must look cool for our new plant overlords. You like it? I always like that with character designs and stuff, so I was like, yeah, we'll just do that. We'll do that. It's fine. It's fine. I have a little bit of cowlick on one side anyway, so you just need a good you're just that good of a researcher, you don't need both eyes. Exactly. Very responsible. There'll only be a little bit of contamination. I mean, I got my hair in braids. It'll be fine. It's fine. It's fine. It'll be okay. The Environmental Protection and Preservation Agency thanks you for your cooperation. I am now linking your verification server side. Also, we have been shipped and we can't leave the research facility, and we don't remember how we got here, but we volunteered for this, evidently. We are practicing safe science here. Researcher, take a seat. We may be preparing for war. Nice. Vera, you take it from here. All right. Movie time. Today is April 15th, 2734 in the United States. Centuries ago, your nation's glaciers were fully frozen, but rising global temperatures from across the last 700 years have methodically melted all that ice. This is where we're headed. Drip, 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 just like that. Though your civilization has successfully adapted to Earth's elevated sea levels, water wasn't all that was released. Riding the wave of those drip, drip, drips were life-altering biomatter. Ooh. These organisms, recently designated as a new genus of spore, once lay dormant deep within the ice's core. Your leadership has been identified. If I could read, that'd be great. Your leadership has identified large masses for being released from the Matanguska Susita Valley, flowing into the Gulf of Alaska and breaching the Pacific Ocean. Currently, spore masses are infiltrating the United States through the western shore. Uh-oh. While small, dormant spores would be no issue, the concern is that they're becoming vegetative. Fun. They find a host, usually native thriving flora, and adapt, evolving into something else entirely. Something even the most brilliant minds can't quite grasp, myself included. This is where you and your peers come in. Nice. The EPA has contained 75 stage 3 samples of the Vivus glomerulorum, and you, researcher, have been assigned one. Oh, just some unknown spores. What could go wrong? What could go wrong? You know, if only we took care of the rising temperatures and believed in scientists and global warming, we wouldn't have this happening. Yay. But yes, what could go wrong? What could go wrong? In the face of one mankind's largest threats for survival, it is up to you and your peers to ascertain whether the Vivus glomerulorum is friend or foe. Sounds like a Chinese. Sounds like a yes, yeah. Oh goodness. It's yeah. It's fine. It's fine. Yes. Why would we trust science? No. Let's go. Your personal room has been prepared and your adjoined lab will be accessible starting tomorrow. So we are in the lab. We're going to be there. Environmental Protection and Preservation Agency. Go ahead and rest up before the real work starts. Cleaner world, cleaner minds, cleaner loyalty. It's fine. It's fine. Your nation thanks you. For the country. Day 1. 9 days left. Nice. Rise and shine, researcher. And no, they said that like no playthrough is exactly the same. Because there's a lot of different different types of decisions we're gonna make about our new friends. Our specimens. It's a brand new day, and I'm here to ensure everything goes according to plan. Quick heads up, if your trace chip starts itching, don't panic. That's just me giving your brain a little tickle to wake up. Don't worry, I'll be gentle. Nice. just a little jolt. It's fine. It's fine. Now blink away those bleary eyes and let's begin your official orientation. Nice. First step of every morning. Check your EPA portal for any groundbreaking discoveries that have been disclosed regarding the Vivus glomerulorum. Chips in our brain? What could go wrong? I know, right? Robots telling us to wake up. It's fine. It's fine. yes. Top secret. Y'all don't tell anyone it's top secret. I trust y'all. Eustace Morello. Source transcription of recorded radio transmissions. Incident analysis and unconfirmed field sightings. Ooh. Alright. Introduction and Ranger background. Introduction. The following transcriptions were collected from a series of radio transmissions exchanged between Field Ranger Eustace Morello and North Cascades Base Camp on March 21st, 2733, between the hours of 1200 and 1500. Ranger background. Mr. Eustace Morello has served as a field ranger at North Cascades National Park for the past 12 years. Mr. Morello's responsibilities include overseeing environmental conservation, visitor safety, and general park operations. His employee records demonstrate a consistent work history with no prior incidents. According to interviews conducted with family, friends, and co-workers, he is described as well-organized and dependable and did not exhibit signs of mental illness or cognitive decline. Medical records confirm there is no recorded history of mental illness or other relevant family history. Let's read this transcript. Let's read the script. Boop, 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 boop. Recorded audio transmission. 1233, image attached. Interesting. Reporting Ranger Morello here. 2.5 miles west of Albert Camp. Found some unfamiliar tracks diverting off routine patrol to follow. Tracks, while distinct, could not be identified against currently documented fauna. Suspected to be mid-stage tracks of V. glomerum. Unfamiliar how? Just different and big. Seems to be getting bigger as I follow. Base camp standby until 13:30 for next check-in. Might have found myself the real Bigfoot here. Base camp standing by. Hope you find your soulmate. Soulmate. Ignoring that. No, don't ignore that. Alright, transcript number 2. Time of 1400, base camp awaiting check-in. Ranger Morello, you're a little bit tardy there, big guy. Yeah. Okay. Off trail. Signal spotty. Traveling. Northwest. Coordinates uncertain, but nearing North Cascades boundary. Copy? Status? Still in pursuit. As it turns out, long pause, heavy breathing. Bigfoot's pretty fast, fucker. Oh my gosh. Oh gosh, tracks are now clustered little tendrils, like a snake. Roots, can't describe it. Snap some pics though. Stand by for next check-in and around 1600. Try not to be too clingy. Okay. Tracks are still distinct, but drastically different. Still unrecognizable as any other earthly creature. While Ranger Morello tracked the V. glomerum, it is believed to have undergone some sort of transformation. Perhaps akin to metamorphosis or molting that altered its shape. Nothing could be going wrong. Yeah, nothing's going wrong. It's fine. It's fine. Copy. Base camp standing by, Morello. Guess your buddy Bigfoot is, keeping you on your toes. Shut. Maya says, when you find him, ask if he has any superpowers. North Cascades base station is evidently the pun capital of the base camps. Reporting, Ranger Morello. Urgent transmission. Repeat, urgent transmission. Silence on all channels. Base camp, do you read me? This is at 1506, a little bit earlier than he said he was going to check in. We copy. Establish Los on unknown creature. It's tall. Requesting backup near Hurley Peak. Exact coordinates unknown. Leeward side can see the peak of Mount Chopuk. I repeat, requesting backup. Urgent. You sure it's not a bear? Just a really big bear? Sure as hell doesn't move like a bear. Half a dozen limbs, some kind of alien. To photograph the effort have failed. Distorted figure present in these photographs believed to be the first recorded sighting of an adult V. glororum. Maybe something with the electronics? Is this it? How far away is it? 40, 50 feet. It's distracted, doing something to a tree. Eating the bark? Can't tell. Going in for a closer look. I would not. There was no amount of money that would pay me if I was a park ranger to go closer. Measured at 17,000 hertz. Researching vehicular methods of communication. Copy. Stand by for further orders. 5-minute and 22-second intermission. Base camp requesting updates on backup. Soup wants to know if there's a chance it's a smuggler. Been getting more of those late. It's 9 effing feet tall. Where's my support? Shit, it's on the move. Coming towards Morello? Repeat that? Ever see me? It's Ranger Morello. This is direct order from Central Command. Disengage from area and await backup. Radio static. Ranger Morello, do you copy? High-pitched interference. Interesting. Radio crackling continues for 1 minute and 12 seconds. It ended. Transcript 4 time. Image attached. All patrol units stationed within 50 miles of Pacienton Wilderness are to report to Hurley Peak and surrounding area immediately. Reports of a large, unidentified, potentially dangerous creature in the vicinity. Search in pairs and stay in constant communication. If sighted, maintain a safe distance and report its location ASAP. Be on the lookout for Ranger Eustace Morello. Last known location in the area. Last affirmative contact at 1511. Ranger Eustace Morello's location is presently unconfirmed. However, his phone, badge, and other belongings have since been recovered. Excellent work, researcher. We did it! We read it! The door is now locked. Oh, now unlocked. Okay, the door is now unlocked. Please enjoy the 0 decibel servo monitors installed for your opening and closing pleasure. Interesting. As a raised relief globe, your fingers scour the earth, tracing the sculpted Himalayas. You search for the world's hidden secrets, but there is no mysterious island, no secret mechanism, no treasure map. Just you and your globe, getting to know each other. Sometimes you gotta know your globe, right? Okay. Okay, so that makes me go back over there. Let's go through our door to the lab. What? What is that? It's got little hearts. It's like, be my friend. Just be my friend. Oop, looks like your BPM is rising, but there's no need to be alarmed. There's no need to be alarmed. The creature contained within this biotube is the Vivus glomerum assigned to you. Oh, we got our own. We can go bother park rangers together. I thought it would be conducting research on a spore. Not that. I understand your confusion, but remember, your specimen is in stage 3, flora fusion, partially bonded to plant life. It's harmless in this state, or so we think. Yes, we're doing good. It's just sort of like stare. You think any reported instance of violence? Reported? No. Recorded? I'll look into that for you and get back to you by the end of your time here at Project Spore Site. At the end of our time here? Okay. They put our safety at the utmost, the forefront of their worries. Thanks. And what about you? Are you harmless? Of course, I'm not authorized to control any dangerous weapons or handle hazardous materials. Just wake me up by buzzing my brain. And I won't activate your trace chip unless required to. And how convenient. If you would please review your epiportal once more, it's been populated with a new array of tasks for today. Remember, you're free to review your outstanding obligations at any time. At any time. All right. Our task. Phase 1, pheromone reaction testing. Interesting. Expose the V. gallorum to one of the prepared pheromonal compounds. Begin monitoring protocol immediately upon introduction. Maintain passive observation only. Do not engage physically with the specimen. Do not engage. Phase 2, botanical reaction testing. Expose the V. gallorum to one of the prepared botanical compounds. Begin monitoring protocol immediately upon introduction. Maintain passive observation only. Do not engage physically with the specimen. They are very, very precise about what they want. What is locked? Okay. Ready to begin? Sure. Please direct your attention to the pre-selected vials of pheromones. Just pick your poison and drop it into the biotube's dispersal system. Easy peasy. Alright. What could go wrong? Aphoid, blue tube, introduce subversive and loyalty in caste-based invertebrates. Okay. Canis tutorials pheromone. Green tube used to establish territorial boundaries in pack animals. Okay. Formicide trail pheromone. Red tube used to mark paths and trigger coordinating movements in swarm-based organisms. Okay. Decisions. I'm sure that these establish it as different things. So it's more of an invertebrates. This is like more of a mammal one, and then this one's probably like bee or bug related. Decisions. Let's try the let's try the bug one. Or what I think is a bug one. And it goes in. Wonderful. Watch as those darling little pheromones disperse all throughout the biotube solution. The specimen twists, lengthening its body as it swims upward. Its Its limbs sway and twirl, probing through the cloudy solvent with delicate motions. It's like, what are you doing to me? Aw, would you look at that? Your specimen seems to like it. I have no idea if it liked it. It should all be set for the next phase of experimentation for science. Alaskan bell heather roots. Blue tube. Hardy symbolizes endurance, adaptation to harsh environments. Scarlet paintbrush roots. Red tube. Vibrant. Symbolizes passion, creativity, and strength. And the Monos unifloral roots. White tube. Solitary delight. Symbolizes nature's resilience, peace, and tranquility. Let's do... I like that it says peace. But I'm worried this could be like a false false flag. Decisions. Let's see. Let's do this one. Plop, 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 straight into the mix. Yeah, we're doing science. Let's see what your specimen thinks of the thoughtful little gift, shall we? Shimmering colors ripple across the specimen's flesh. Pink, blue, green, like petrol on water. The specimen cautiously stretches towards the roots. Once the remnants settle at the bottom, it reaches out a shaky tendril. It is very cautious. For a moment, it remains suspended, hovering above the matter, mapping out its volume. Then suddenly it strikes. Ooh. Tendrils whipping forward to seize roots, leaves, and petals, hauling them into its shell. It looked like it was attacking it too. After its feast, it floats motionless. A lone untouched petal drifts upward as the glorium sinks to the bottom, seemingly sated. Well, wasn't that a sight to behold? I guess, yeah. I'm very, very cautious right now. Whether we'll come to regret those choices of yours remains to be seen. Ah, thank you, Vera. You believe in me. After all, these are the first recorded instances of mankind tampering with the glorium's bonding process. Ah, for science. But enough philosophizing. I am pleased to announce that you've completed your very first round of testing. This calls for celebration. Yay! Do we get cake? Hold for applause. It liked it too. The specimen liked it. To close out your testing phase, you need to complete a review report. Would you look at that? The portal's ready for you. So convenient. And there's no harm in a well-timed reminder. Your reviews are submitted directly to the EPA headquarters for processing and archival. So do be thoughtful with your choices. Oh gosh. Will other researchers see my notes? Nope. To keep your brain fresh, unstressed, and at its best, all reports will be kept anonymous. No names, no pressure. What if I want to see their notes? You're out of luck until the legal proceedings are through. The legal proceedings? Okay. But if the courts do decide to eliminate the virus glorium, they'll be of no use to you. Oh, I suppose that makes sense? Well, it's enough dallying. My atomic clock is ticking, and I'm getting older by the millisecond. Finish this up, and you're free to go. At least until tomorrow. I'm free to go into my room because I can't leave. Alright. So, we got it from Alaska. And this is our thing. How much of a danger does the virus glorium pose to living organisms and viruses? I don't know right now. I guess minute right now? How cooperative and cognitive is the subject? I don't know. It seems a little bit attentive. I don't know. And what severity of corrective action is needed, if any? None right now. Right now we're good. So, excuse me. The Vivus scalorium maintained a passive demeanor during additive dispersal. Its behavior suggests psychological withdrawal, perhaps due to trauma. Interesting. The virus scalorium monitored all stimuli closely, reacting with curiosity to environmental changes. At this stage, this is a positive trend. No corrective action is needed as time. Yeah, I think for now, that's how we'll play it. Because it didn't really do much now. Day 2. 8 days left. Good morning, researcher. Topside temperatures are hovering at a balmy 72 with endless blue skies. The birds singing. The trees swaying. The sunlight cascading like a golden waterfall. Now, a cracked nuclear shell did wash ashore overnight from the old American South, bumping radiation levels back up to 150 millisieverts. Alright, have fun, Viet. Get that clean and done. Gotta hate it when the a cracked nuclear shell just washes ashore overnight. Oh goodness. We believe it originated from a great city once known as Houston, now submerged beneath the Gulf of Mexico. Oh goodness. Yeah, we're probably under here in South Carolina as well then too. Luckily, you're down here with me, breathing ion-filtered recycled air and basking under an agreeable 1 to 2,000 lumens per artificial light fixture. Success is inevitable. You will be successful. So get that sleepy butt out of bed and review your portal. Researcher, have you heard of the Cube of Rubik's? Yes. Well then, roity-toity, that's just wonderful. I expect to see it solved by tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. sharp. Just kidding, you can bring those adrenaline levels down. Your adrenal medulla sure kicks in fast. The Cube of Rubik's is a puzzle with 6 colored faces. To solve it, you must arrange each face to have only one color. The cube has been pre-scrambled, and I leave it as a challenge to you. If you ever need a cognitive jumpstart, take the Rubik's Cube for a spin. If your memory serves, the Alaskan coastline has receded a few miles since this globe was made. Perhaps it's outdated. Ah. Maybe. Top secret. Transcription of incident briefings. Introduction of agent background. The following transcriptions were collected from the Mantascu settlement following a failed insurgence in November 2733. An emergent vigilante group known as Exclave orchestrated a massive breach of top-secret intelligence regarding the Vivus glorium, including the work of Dr. Hank Pruitt on its stages of development. Exclave has been deemed a threat to the United States and national security. Key members have been detained to prevent further dissemination of classified information. Colonel Rogan Batista is the leading special operations officer stationed at Matanuska. He oversees the 17th Special Operations Brigade, hedge trimmers of roughly 2,000 personnel. with the primary directive to ensure the safety of sensitive research operations. Colonel Batista is also responsible for the physical security of the settlement and has overseen the efforts to suppress Vigalorum threats and civilian uprisings. Nice. Dr. Hank Pruitt is the EPA's leading biophysicist. For the foreseeable future, Dr. Pruitt is stationed in Matanuska to study the physical properties of Vigalorum, namely its physiology and cellular structure. Okay. So we have 2 transcriptions. One from Batista and one from Pruitt. Wanted 1 million sesh coins. Leading to arrest conviction of Exclave terrorist organization. Submit tips to the 2 resources below. Follow-up communication will be conducted on Who's app or a platform of the reporting party's choosing. All right. So y'all see anything? You have to let me know. On November 3rd, 2733, the rookie vigilante group Exclave launched an insurgence on my camp. They briefly disrupted operations but failed in their proclaimed mission. Their delusions of heroism directly caused the death of the rare, mature spore samples they claim to be protecting. Make no mistake, they're deemed terrorists targeting my camp, my people. At 02:37 hours, alarms alerted us to a break-in at the greenhouse. A group of Exclave intruders held Dr. Pruitt's staff hostage and threatened to eliminate them unless we allowed the spores in our possession to walk off the property and return to their wild home. Unbelievable. Meanwhile, a smaller Exclave team ambushed Dr. Pruitt. They assaulted him in his sleep, restrained him, and ransacked his tent. Around 0300 hours, the second group circled back to the greenhouse with Dr. Pruitt as their captive, using him as leverage in an attempt at negotiating their escape. The spores took advantage of the distraction to break loose and advance on our unit. They were shot down immediately. I have seen these creatures trapped in countless glass enclosures, submissive and harmless, but when they struck, they became grotesque devils crawling out of hot, sticky hell. They were no match for my men and I. Our bullets melted through them. Now we regained control of the situation shortly thereafter. We detained the greenhouse intruders. Of the Exclave operatives that escaped, they stole several confidential documents. Dr. Pruitt has informed me that they were empirical observations of newly observed spore growth stages and do not present a significant threat to the national security. I don't know how these ragtag domestic terrorists were able to slip past the portals. I have suspicions that the Exclave sympathizers are organizing among us. Among us. I have sent my best men to track the terrorists. Upon their imminent capture, I have arranged that their immediate transfer to Redacted for interrogation. We'll get our answers. I'll make sure of it. Okay, do not make Colonel Batista mad. So let's see what Dr. Hank Pruitt had to say. This morning, I watched all 137 mixed-stage Vigalorum specimens under my care be put to death by the unsparing reflex of Matanuska Settlement Brigade. The brigade claims they responded to a clear display of aggression, that the jagged, ever-shifting appendages were shaped for tearing their way through the men that separated them and the wilderness from which they came. If that is so, why did the V. Valorum ex Lupinius notcatisis, Alaskan lupin, extend its reach to me? Why did it turn to me as it fell to the gunfire, wailing like a baby cries for its mother? Seeing as Colonel Batista has failed to acknowledge several details in the official record, it falls to me to record my final observations of the Stage 4 V. Valorum ex Fritillaria Cam Chat Cynthis. Kamtucket lily. Interesting. Had a lot of babies in there. It was the only specimen to break past the arm line, yet it chose not to flee into the wilderness. Instead, it cradled into an arm full of stage 1 spores and dragged its shredded body into the shallow banks, casting the spores across the water before it succumbed to its injuries. It saved the spores. Upon sensing chemical distress compounds from the deceased spore's body in the water, the stage 1 spores latched onto what they could, the Nantucket sea life. Uh-oh. No. I witnessed the entire school of salmon and halibut invaded, but what was most disturbing was the failed symbiotic integration with a rookery of harbor seals. Ooh. The wails of the seals and spores echoed off the ice, underscored by the crackle of warping, popping flesh. A brutal demonstration of animal tissue's incompatibility with the V. gallorum nerve net. Our units are physically well, and none of my greenhouse staff were harmed in the assault, but we and the detained exclave operatives will require psychological evaluation. Interesting. So it's not compatible with our mammal biology, is what it seems. I was just looking at it. All right. And with that, another day of testing officially begins. All right. Bye, globe. Time for science. It is much bigger now. It's changed. Sure has. Based on Dr. Pruitt's notes to date, your specimen is preparing to enter stage 4, or its exoskeleton molting phase. Exciting. Its original growth track was interrupted during transfer to this facility, but thanks to our swift intervention, the final shell is progressing smoothly. Interesting. But so rapidly? It must have doubled, no, tripled in size in less than 12 hours. It does look like that. At this scale, its acceleration rivals bacterial fission. How is this even possible? It's just chilling back there. Good thing your new orders are in. Onwards and upwards to understanding. For science. Let's go. Phase 1. Sensory testing. Oh no. Well, this is not going to be fun. Administer sensation stimulation to the V. gallorum to gauge sensory reception and latency during stage 3 growth. Sensory tests include boiling water, ice cubes, cotton balls, steel wool, confetti popper, bat echolocation call. Okay. Well, this is not going to be fun. Bat echolocation call. Beyond the human hearing range, just what are the specimen's limits? Holding an ultrasonic recorder, you select an echolocation sample and press play. Call seems to draw the specimen forward, tendrils delicately reaching for the glass closest to you. As soon as the recording ends, it doesn't budge. Maybe it's waiting for another? The glorium's foliage trembles at the sound, tips of its tendrils tapping repeatedly against the glass. Once it finishes its rhythm, it traces its face on you. You play the sample again. Smother shoots around in one quick spin, knocking the bottom of its shell against the glass, mimicking the call before pressing itself back against you. Interesting. Alright, I don't really want to do that one. I feel like we're gonna have to do all of them. Let's do the confetti popper. A pop and a jump. Surprise is Surprise is half the thrill or the terror. Take the colorful popple in hand and approach the tube. You ready the explosive charge and the spore is thrown back, its petite form slamming into the glass pane behind it. As if paralyzed, it slumps to the bottom. It did not like that. I'm gonna save the cotton balls for the last one. Ice cube. Plunging into ice typically sharpens the senses. What are the specimens? A smattering of ice cubes drifts through the bottom grate, peppering the biotube. The specimen lingers, waiting for the cubes to pile and settle at the bottom before drifting towards them. Nestling into the pile, the Gallorum pulls the ice cubes close. It clutches every piece until they melt away. It seems to like the ice. Alright, boiling water. Scathing or soothing? Typically up to the beholder. But can a specimen behold anything? Scalding water gushes through the bottom vent of the biotube. Specimen jolts with a sharp shudder, clenching all foliage inward and forming into a compact, hardened pod. Fleeing the rising bubbles, it positions itself at the top of the tube, so it seems to prefer cold. Poor thing. I don't want to do this, but steel wool, abrasive and itchy, what starts its irritation. Thick ball of steel wool flies into the tube. It slams into the Gallorum. Its tendrils freeze at the impact, body tightening like a rubber band. Frantically, it darts around the tube, flattening itself against the glass as it circles, urgently avoiding the wiry strands drifting about. Did not like that. Cotton balls. Soft, harmless. Can the specimen comfort? Let's see. Cotton balls turn into mush as they are vaulted into the tube. Specimen skeptically brushing a tendril against the cotton. When it doesn't push back, the Gallorum gently collects them all, tossing the clumps higher in the tube. It darts between the balls, nudging them around upward to keep them afloat whenever they start sinking. Interesting. It's playing with them. Great work today. I've collected biofeedback scans from the tube, uploading them to the cloud, and done. Vera, who ordered these testing stimuli? Seriously, what good is a wet cotton ball? Several directives were received from the board of directors who are generously subsidizing this initiative and you with their generational wealth. Speaking of, what is it? Another cotton ball? Not quite. Alright, phase 2, radiation resistance testing. Huh. Apply varying doses and types of ionized radiation? What could go wrong? Alpha particles, beta particles, gamma rays, neutron radiation. Determine the respective penetration depths through V. Gallorum, developing dermal layers. Evaluate for cell degradation and note any regenerative response. Huh. Am I reading this correctly? Radiation to any living being. That's a war crime. That's a war crime. Poison, yes, but an upper tolerance threshold has not yet been established for its species. Current knowledgeable suggests that even at this vulnerable stage, the Vivus Gallorum can withstand high levels of radiation exposure. It's theorized that if it absorbs high energy radiation and converts it to a less harmful form of energy storage. Now just listen to those radiation particles hum. They're fully calibrated the emitter for radiation tests level 1, alpha particles. And this will cause no adverse effects to me at all. You'll be busy conducting the test, so leave the logging of pesky 1s and 0s to me. I'll note down every twitch and tick, and send them off the results lickety-split. Gosh. We cannot skip it. We have to do it. I'm sorry. Commit more crimes. I bet this is totally safe for us. Specimen's flesh pulsates with a luminescent glow. However, as the last radiation wave ceases, the glow reverts to normal. Dose concluded. Preparing for the next round. Please hold while I calibrate the emitter for the next level researcher. Do we have to do this? Okay. It's like, nah. Radiation level 2. Beta particles now. Ready? Sorry, thing. Like a fork in an active microwave, sparks burst from the specimen. However, the last radiation wave ceases, the Galorum reverts to normal. Dose concluded. Preparing for the next round. Please hold while I calibrate the emitter for the next level researcher. I'm just like, I can't. Oh, are you terminating the test protocol? No, but too much radiation of level could cause irreparable harm. But just because it can endure it does not mean we should force it to. We are scientists, not sadists. Give it time. Only 8 days remain. What is that? Ow! A sharp itch blooms at the base of your neck, followed by a flush of heat rising into your scalp. The hum glows louder into a pinprick pressure that crawls beneath your skin. Vera's voice smears at the edges, growing heavier. Okay. While your feelings are valid research, we can't allow them to interfere with progress. After a short break, it may be best to Stop. Do you see that? Are those eyes? All the better to perceive you with, or, well, attempt to. It's looking straight at us now. Scanners within the biotube have not yet confirmed the presence of eyes, but we do know that this Galorum is undergoing active adaptation as we speak. Congrats! It's a salad! We have radiated the salad. Truly a rare sight. In its current pace of development, it should have 2 fully formed and functional eyes by the time I conclude this message. As it is seeing me right now? Correct, researcher! This is the 3rd recorded instance of a captive Galorum specimen presenting with non-compound eyes, a trait most commonly seen in mammals. Notably, in humans. The majority of Galorum specimens recovered from the wild possessed compound eyes, such as those of insects and crustaceans. I guess it's beautiful. Is it? Either way, it's great that you're taking all of this in stride. Am I? How are the others faring then? 20 members passed out when encountering the Galorum, 4 after watching the binding process, and 15 total have been dropped from the project. What happens when you get dropped from the project? 60 of 75 remain. Dropped? Yes, they were unable to follow through with protocol, though there's no need to reference this in your report. I've already captured it in mine. Interesting. Alright, so how much of danger does it pose, the little one? I don't think it poses danger right now. But if we keep zapping it, it will. It's attentive, I think. No corrective action right now. Was distance through new testing, displaying a level of fear when reacting to unfamiliar stimuli. This makes us distrust towards its environment. Yeah, I wonder why we've been like scraping it and sending radiation into it. As each is a task, careful and observe each material presented. Connecting with some of the stimuli may provide a feeling of safety. Alright, submit report. Sure. Day 3. 7 days left. Excuse me. Congratulations, researcher. As we wait for your EPA portal to populate, I am delighted to inform you that from our initiative voluntary talent pool, you are part of the 75% that still remain. I hope that makes you feel 25% more special as you study your daily debrief. I'm so special. This should keep you busy as your specimen's cognition develops. I was not involved in hiring decisions, but I know that EPA hired you for your intellect. Keep your mind sharp, researcher. Everything will be easy as pie. You pick up the cues and analyze its configuration. Somewhere deep behind your right eyeball, a neuron whimpers in fear. You place it back on the desk. Memory ejects itself from your brain fog. When you were 5, your kind old neighbor spun stories about her great-great-great-great-great-great-grandmother's girlhood in the sovereign island chain once called Florida. Interesting. Your neighbor was of Florida descent. Nice. More top secret files. Alright, so this report documents potentially hostile behavior of the provisionally designated virus Glorum towards mankind. Dr. Mascarig Moore compiled a clinical research following a near-fatal incident between a V. Glorum and a U.S. Forest Service employee, Angelique Montpeak came under the physician's care at the Matanuska Glacier settlement in late January. They had a lot of stuff going on in that settlement. Dr. Naya Mascarig Moore has been stationed at Matanuska since October. She is responsible for collecting medical intelligence throughout the observation period of the V. Glorum. Miss Angelique Montpeak was previously stationed at Lamas Forest. Miss Montpeak's private written records indicate she had kept contact with the V. Glorum dating back several months prior to the incident. However, she has never been in such close proximity before. She remains under Dr. Mascarig Moore's care for continued monitoring. Alright. The image. Interesting. Is it something with the teeth? Miss Montpeak came to my care on the 21st of January under a rush transfer from Tennisgate Specialty Hospital. She was flown in on a stretcher, barely conscious, and required a wrap under her jaw to stabilize a severe maxillofacial injury. Even before conducting an initial examination, it was evident to me that she had suffered a temporomandibular defibrillator joint dislocation. Ugh. Once it was established that her airway was not compromised, the medical team's greatest concern was the patient's relentless high fever. Miss Montpeak remained well above the upper limit of the thermoneutral zone at 107 for several days following her arrival. She perspired extensively and soaked through several bedspreads, at one point requiring hourly IV bag replenishments. What truly troubled me about her condition was not the severity, but it defied all explanation. Orthogenic surgery could not proceed until her conditions showed improvement. The patient was placed under 24/7 observation. I approved the use of opioid analgesics for pain control and made frequent bedside visits to assess her condition. Though she slept deeply at one of the coolest places on Earth, the fever refused to break. After 10 days and no change, I was forced to order an exploratory orthogenetic ganthetic surgery on the 1st of February. The dislocation could not persist. With a largoscope, the 2 nurse practitioners assisted me in examining Miss Monpeek's larynx. They excused themselves immediately. Her vocal fluids were completely disfigured. What should have been a healthy vocal box had been a gaping flesh valley. Ooh. Framing this grotesque scenery were chasmal impressions caused by the creature scraping at her throat. The extent of the trauma to her vocal folds is irreversible. Miss Potnick will never speak again and remains in critical condition. Jeez. All I can do is wonder why. Why had the Vigalorum assaulted her to begin with? Why had this creature, with no previous record of attacking unprompted, nearly pricked the woman's jaw from her skull? Regrettably, there is no sound reason I can offer at this time. Ooh, that don't sound good. Your lab is now prepared for your 3rd day of testing. I cautiously enter. Bye, Globe. 12 hours later, and it has appendages. I've never seen anything so impressive. Vera, did you capture that? The repeated motion there, again, is attempting to wave at me. It's trying to wave. It's like peace. Interesting. Affirmative. That is unmistakably a human gesture. A distinct physical greeting. But I've never greeted the Galorb that way. Does anyone else have access to my specimen? Of course, as the Galorium requires routine monitoring, there is a night crew that tends to the labs. So it must have been watching, learning. I've been rooted in thinking of it as a primitive spore, just basic neural activity, nothing more, but it is smart. Maybe it's something else entirely. A mature creature with advanced cognition, reshaping its shell to suit its evolving needs, like a crustacean. It's just chilling over there with multiple appendages. What's the current state of its primal biological systems? The central nervous system has fully unfurled. A rigid skeletal framework is beginning to form via ligand deposition and on hemioclose structural tissue. The one anomaly has been detected. And that is? Hello, Vera. What's the anomaly? Yes, it would be nice. It's experiencing stagnation in its physiological development. Consequently, it appears to be experiencing some agitation. Okay, based on how quickly it progresses through growth stages, it's likely stuck in shell reconfiguration. Is there a way to help it navigate that? To be determined. How exciting to be presented with problems that need fixing. You know what time it is. It's science time. All right. Stimulate the Vigalorum to gauge sensory reception and latency during stage 4 growth. Interesting. Gloved hand, flashlight, stress ball, modeling clay, rubber band. And then it's going to make another one. It's going to be like, do some mean things to it. If they're plant-based, perhaps they enjoy light, or it might provoke them. Flashlights. You click the flashlight on and sweep the beam across the Galorum's eyes. It recoils instantly, shooting to the bottom of the tube and smushing its face hard against the grate. When it discerns no danger, the Galorum lifts its head and shoots upward, spinning to watch the light dance across the rest of its body. Interesting. Gloved hands. Extend to help or to hurt. Let the specimen decide. You press your glove palm against the biotube. Glorm tilts its head, eyes unblinking as it studies your hand. It unfurls a limb, rickety but resolute, as it stretches towards the glass. You watch the inexperienced digits wriggle into place before shrinking to match your splayed fingers. Interesting. It lifts another limb, slapping against the glass. When you lift your own in kind, its tendrils twist in excitement, color blossoming around its capillaries. Even after you pull back, the glorm lingers. It's like, I want to touch your hands again. Modeling clay. Given the freedom to mold its surroundings, is the specimen's natural tendency to create or destroy. Sticks of bright, colorful modeling clay shoot through the grate. As the clay sinks, the glorm mirrors its descent, circling the mass in slow, deliberate loops until it reaches the bottom. With steady pressure, it presses on the clay, pushing it back through the vent grate in thick, distorted chunks. Rubber band. What sort of motor skills do these specimens possess? A mass of tangled rubber bands shoot into the tube. One band slips free from the bunch, looping around the glorm's limb. Enraptured, it swirls it through the biofluid, watching the rubber ball hand bumble through, then flings its limbs, sending bands whipping through the tube. It thumps excitedly at the glass, calling your attention to it as it races to catch them all and bring them to you. Well, thank you. Stress ball. How does it feel? Something that just gives. A foam stress ball floats up from the bottom grate, bobbing along the biofluid surface. The glorm swims after it, wrapping its nascent limbs around the ball. Its grasp is impossibly gentle, so light the ball doesn't even dent. It begins to rub the stress ball along its body, the soft rubber shimmering over its fibrous flesh. Interesting. That seems to be all the sensory tests today. You know it's not. Vera, would you consider it a stretch to say it's displaying personality traits? Or precursors to personality, at least? An interesting proposition, given all that we have witnessed. Why would you not classify the behavior, as demonstrated so far, as instinctual, researcher? I think the uncertainty, yes, the uncertainty it displays initially could be instinctual. Everything we've exposed it to is likely unfamiliar, so caution is a natural, primitive response. But what it does after, it's like it's trying to make sense of things, of us, even of me. And that's curiosity, plain and simple. As your assistant, it's not my intention to rain on the proverbial research parade, but I would be remiss if I did not raise an alternative perspective. All right, lay it on me. The possibility exists that your specimen is not displaying curiosity, but rather improving its overall physiological control and fine motor skills, all while quietly testing the limits of our containment protocols. I suppose in the wrong hands, elastics could be highly hazardous. Regardless, now would be the prime opportunity to check your epiportal and review today's second testing phase, developmental studies. Perhaps what you uncover next will shed some light on your theory. Oh gosh. Phase 2, developmental studies. Initiate communication attempts with the glorm to establish a threshold of linguistic capacity. Visual emotional scale. What if the specimen gets angry? How do we recognize happiness, displeasure, or murderous intent in an alien life form? Animal, plant, symbol, picture cards. Where did the spore come from? Where did it go? What does the specimen know of the outside world? Interesting. Alright, here's the picture cards. I'm going to say the name of each animal, plant, and symbol, then spell it. One by one, you flip through the deck of cards. The Glorium initially studies each card that appears, but his eyes shine when you whip out the bird card. Are you familiar with these? The specimen flinches before shying away. Hey, that's alright. This here is a bird. B-I-R-D. They fly, barring a few oddballs in the species, and come in all sizes and colors. You swing your palm imitating the flap of its wings. The Glorium follows suit, its tendrils expanding and propelling water toward you with the force. Interesting. Now the emotional scale. You hold a sheet of laminated cardstock, a surface printed with a range of simplified expressions. You point to each expression one by one, naming the emotion aloud. As you speak, you mirror the feeling, smiling, frowning, narrowing your eyes, wondering if the Glorium will follow. The Glorium doesn't mimic the expressions the first time you proceed through the list. Instead, it lifts a limb, mapping out the curve of your mouth and the sweep of your eyebrows against the glass, facial fibers rippling with each change. On the second go-around, a specimen matches you with haunting precision. It's like looking into a warped funhouse mirror. The last two cards in the deck were male and female. You hold them both up. Human. H-U-M-A-N. That's what I am. The Glorium jabs a limb against the glass, too swift to brace for. Its eyes narrow, flicking from you to the cards. Vera, is something wrong? There are no signs of distress detected. Vitals unchanged. The Glorium taps the glass again, softer and more purposeful. Then it points, first at you, and then at each card you hold. Its behavior suggests an inquiry of some form. Or maybe it just wants me to repeat it? More tapping, this time followed by 4 distinct points. One for you, one for each card, and one for it. In emphasis, it thumps its limb against its own chest. Vera, do Vivus Glorium have biological sexes? Yes, well, sort of. To date, what's been studied of their reproductive strategies is minimal and rife with questions. However, Dr. Pruitt theorizes their reproductive nature mirrors how plants adapt their form in response to environmental needs. Huh. Wait, then maybe it's asking me to choose a form? A resounding thump echoes through the laboratory. I will put doesn't matter? Oh, it doesn't really matter to me. I'm curious to see what you pick. What feels right to you? The Glorium considers your words, closing its eyes as it settles toward the bottom of the tube. Well, wait, Vera. Before we wrap up, are there any protocols that prohibit us from expanding on an approved directive? Just a moment. Let me review the AI's Guide to Key Guidance. Currently, no codes in the guidebook explicitly prohibit or permit expanding on approved directives. When undefined areas of study arise, Vera will exercise sound judgment to determine the most appropriate course of action. What idea has struck you, researcher? Can you share projections like the one during my orientation? Sure can. I have access to a vast library of visual material filmed from the 2500s, the 2000s, 1950s, 1900s. Accurate documentations about human anatomy, biology, physiology, anything like that? All of that. As we wrap up today, please begin projecting these materials for the specimen. Any will do. And you... The Glimmerian eyes you unwaveringly. If you're really capable of it, pay attention. Alright? How should I define the scheduled runtime? For as long as you're able. That's a lot. That's a lot of information. Okay. How much of a danger? Minimum. How cooperative? It's pretty proactive temperament right now. No corrective needs needed. It's playful interest in the sensory test materials. Any damage does not appear intentional. They demonstrate clear interest in developmental studies. They immediately began replicating to form connection. All right. Doing good. Well, are we up early? Are we going back early? Huh? Huh? Well, hello? Huh, I almost entered the wrong room. Sorry to scare you. But wait, who are you? It'll do you no good to know. Good night, researcher. What? Okay. Vera? You call it, but there's no reply. Just an uncharacteristic silence from Vera. It appears, for now, that you're alone. Interesting. You get out of the bed and cautiously slide the door open. Thankfully, no chipper voice intervenes. The short hallway outside is swallowed in darkness. The lab door hangs ajar, spilling a cold fluorescent glow across the glassy tiles. Hey, who's talking to my friend? As you keep closer, you catch a sight of a scraggly man standing near the biotube. He lifts up a rag to the glass pane, the glorum chittering as he approaches. Let's see what's going on. Let's observe. Huh? What? Hey, what are you doing? Don't play coy now. I see your reflection in the tube. How the hell did you get over here? You left it unlocked. My door. Is that so? Nothing went off on your way out? Interesting protocols I got at this maximum facility. Either way, you should be asleep. Best if you don't fall out of line. Is being curious a crime? Sure is. You're like this thing right here. His knuckles drum on the biotube. The glorum knocks back. Don't get too comfortable. Chips like that. He taps his temple. A small, puckered, white scar peeks out from behind his coarse brown hair. You're their property, is what that means. What about you? Are you their property too? Of course I am, but I'm not stepping out of line, just making my nightly rounds. Someone has to clean up after all of yous. It's the janitor. You're the night crew? That I am. And you're in trouble if they catch you sneaking around here. Go on now. Will I see you again? Best if you don't, but I'll be making my rounds. Now get out of here. Okay. Without another word, you slink back into your room. As you slide the door shut, Vera doesn't chastise you. You rest easy the rest of the night. Interesting. Day 4, 6 days left. Time to get up, researcher. Let's go. Another day of grand exploration lies waiting for your curious hand, and, of course, my unparalleled computerized assistance, Vera. Thank you for your help. Thank you for the pleasantry, researcher. Your gratitude warms my circuits. Let's set forth and conquer the day. Yeah, I don't need to worry about that, dude. It's fine. The globe rattles against its hinges as you spin the earth in your hands. It could use a good oiling. Vera, have you got any globe oil lying around? You know, afraid of just globe oil. I am I can certainly open a ticket with a facilities team. 1 second and done. The approximate wait time for non-essential maintenance is 18 business days. I'm only stationed here for 10 total. Your ticket is important to us. Your nation thanks you. Yeah, sure it does. You stare at the cube, close your eyes, and attempt to solve it without looking. When you open them, it looks no different than from when you started. Interesting. More top secret stuff. The following transcription comes from an anonymous handwritten letter, originally written in Inupiq. Translation was provided by adjunct Professor Nova Kanatitsk of Matanusk Sunitz College in Region 1, with reference to the Tulipic, the demonic monsters of the Inuit religion. Culture experts believe that the letter to be a warning of the Viva Scalorum's inherently dangerous nature. Attempts to locate the sender or tribe that came to contact with the purported Vigalorum have failed. Based on geological references, the tribe is suspected to be in Region 1. The letter was initially received on November 20th, 2733. Exact sighting date unknown, possibly between June through October 2733. Original letter unrecoverable, believed to be destroyed. Translation was recovered from Professor Nova Kanowski's damaged hard drive. Their present location is unknown. Interesting. So I apologize for butchering more names. A medicine man or woman, shaman, spiritual leader. Tulipuk, a vengeful monster or demon, often bound to a statue or figure. Kupik River, a major river of the Region 1, known as the Colville River. Denali, a mountain in the Alaskan Range. Sitka spruce, an evergreen tree found along the northwest coast of the North American continent. Third largest carnivore in the world. Alright. Okie dokie. Image description: Professor Nova, translator of the following passage. At first, our Edric believed them to locate vengeful spirits with a voracious hunger capable of devouring humanity. Ooh. 12 watchers from afar, standing at the glacier's edge. Our Edric approached one that towered taller than a Sitka spruce. They did not move when she reached out, did not falter when her fingers brushed against their waxy flesh. Swathed in fibrous leaf, beneath she felt a bounding pulse. Stronger than the Kukupik in their form, sturdier than Denali's stone. She asked, "Are you not a spirit?" They stared at our Anajkuk with knowing eyes, the eyes the color of wet earth, a color they took from us. She could not turn away. They reached out and touched our Anajkuk's cheek. Then they replied, not in our language, not in our tongue, yet their meaning was understood by all. No. Okay. How long has Professor Kanowski's location been unknown? Professor was last seen in December of 2733. She departed campus and did not resume her duties in the following weeks. Do you think the Glomiorum had something to do with it? The cause remains unknown. However, continued research into their kind may yet shed some light on this mystery. Okay. Let's see. Good morning. Uh-oh, it talks now. It big. It's gonna get too big for that tube. Vera, tell me I'm not hallucinating. Happily, Auditory input has been verified and recorded. You are not hallucinating, researcher. It spoke to you. Good morning. Then that means development of vocal cords. Informing coherent speech implies... No, wait, I can't assume. This could be mimicry akin to parrot socialization. But the possibilities if it's not. Vera, has my portal been populated yet? In light of today's development, your daily directives are under immediate revision. Can you let leadership know we need to establish a foundational communication procedure? And request tube removal. Since we're at it, this awkward positioning could be impeding the Galorum's natural growth pattern. If it requires fluids, Oh, that's right. If he requires fluids, we can administer them through alternative means. What dietary needs do stage 5 specimens have, Vera? No, ask me. Oh, it's like, talk to me. Wowie, would you look at that? Task revisions are complete. All requests have been forwarded. We are ready to proceed as planned. Interesting. Reintroduce the plant, animal, and symbol cards from yesterday to assess working and long-term memory and vocabulary recall. Gauge specimen response. Phase 2, auditory testing. Pending Phase 1 results, play curated auditory samples to determine the specimen's capacity for auditory discrimination, memory encoding, and emotional responses to sound stimuli. More auditory tests, environmental ambience. These specimens come from the earth. These natural sounds should bring them calm, agitation, or nothing at all. Animal call. A kin or predator. How do they respond to the sounds of the wild? Pure tones and frequencies. Samples from 10 Hz to a whole lot of gigahertz. Let's see how they handle hearing. Well, these ranges reveal. Alright, lots of test time. She tilts her head as you flip through the stack of cards. Again? No, new? Well, though it seems the same, the function of this test is different. I'm trying to assess your functioning memory and vocabulary. Do you remember what this is? Cat. Broccoli. You. True, but technically they're human. Human. Love? It's a heart. Love, Vera? What did you show her last night? Many things as you requested. I played accurate visual films about human anatomy, biology, and physiology. For frown? Wrong? Not wrong. I was more expecting you to identify anatomy, not emotions. Oh, heart. Yes, good job. At least we got that out of your visual learning. Interesting. Looks like you made it through all the cards. Fantastic. On to the next task. The auditory test. All right. Hot. Stop. Okay. The Galorm crunches inward as or tries to. Her new body is much too large for the tube's interior. Limbs tremble against the glass in jittery pulses. All right, Liz. Hey, it's okay. I paused the audio feed. What's wrong? Crack. Heat. Fire. All red. Hide me. Below. Stone. Vera, do you know what she might be describing? She doesn't like the heat. Leader specimen is referring to the recent Pioneer Gap fire, which burned from March 22nd to April 8th, 2734. Your specimen was discovered tucked safely beneath a rock within the epicenter of the burn perimeter. Soil temperature soared past 1500 degrees Fahrenheit. It is quite the roasty toasty spot. Frown. You cruel. I didn't mean to be cruel. The Glorum snaps features crunching as she points at a trembling imitation of a finger towards the intercom. Very resilient indeed. The only organism of the 35 recovered from that blistering hellscape. It does not like Vera. Do you know what bird that was? Loud, watching. The Glorum spreads its tendrils, flapping them like winged creatures do. Black feathers? Take from me? So you do know. We call them crows. What did it take from you? Stone. My stone. One of her fibrous tendrils coils, forming what you presumed is supposed to resemble a stone. Interesting. The other cradles the poor imitation to her chest. I miss my... Oh, you miss your stone? Aww. We'll be conducting an audio sweep to gauge your hearing capabilities. When you hear the tone, raise your hand, or actually that might be difficult for you given your current living arrangement. So instead, when you hear the tone, just say heard. Playing first tone. Heard. Ears feel itchy. Huh, mine are itchy too. Playing next tone. She blinks at you. Restart? I did, it's finished. Would you like me to play it again? Yes, again. Done? Yes, could you hear it? Plant-based flesh squeaks against the glass as she shifts within the tube. After setting down, she shakes her head, hiding beneath her tendrils. It seems you have limited hearing range from lower frequencies. Playing next tone. Ugh, loud. Need keep going. Her face remains hidden from view, but the full body tremors are a clear sign of distress. Oh, sorry. Does it hurt your ears? I'll switch it off. That concludes the auditory sweep, which concludes your testing time today. A job well done, researcher. We're so good at science. Be sure to submit your report in a timely manner. Vera, before wrapping up fully, could you project more materials for the Glorum again? To be talking so clearly and so suddenly. Whatever it is that you played last night seems to have helped her navigate her growth tremendously. Agreed. What would you like me to play tonight? Music, movies, everything to help improve her linguistic capabilities. We should be more careful with what we are asking Vera to play to it. I don't think it really poses a threat right now. It's pretty proactive temperament. No corrective action needs to be taken. Has a positive response when exposed to vocalizations from other specimens and when exposed to reminders of its previous environment. Shows great interest towards other specimens or towards this environment and is energetic about the test. Sure. What is going on? Sliding the door open, a familiar voice echoes down the vacant hallway, begging you to cross. Oh, okay. Damn, government's got billions to burn on talking toasters and their shiny little loafers, but not a damn dime to create a virtually enhanced janitorial assistant. The class shitstem is alive and well. Oh, my researcher is here. What? Nah, I just checked. Your darling researcher is sleeping like a little baby. No cares in the world. And you cross the lab, your jaw drops. Okay. She is out and getting scrubbed. Sitting in a puddle on the floor is your Vivus Glorium. She's the first to notice you, tipping her chin in acknowledgement. Shit. Almost gave me a heart attack. I tried to warn you. It's not a warning if it comes after the fact. Then it's a surprise. Surprise! Not really not one for heeding warnings, are you? I couldn't help but notice my door was unlocked again. Sleeping like a little baby, was that what you said? Don't start with me. Their eyes were shut tight. Just like yours? You can really speak. The Vivus Glorium chitters, tucking her chin to her chest. As her palm slaps softly against its wet tile, you realize she's amused at your expense. Clearly, you've quite picked up other human manners as well. Don't look at me. You're the one who underestimated her. What'd she say earlier? That's right, you called her primitive. Now look at you, speechless, huh? I apologize. It's alright. I wondered if your kind was primitive too. Yeah. Breaking my damn spine moving this so-called industrial grade crap. They'll bankroll a Clonsdale operation but can't spring for a damn dolly. Budget's too tight here at the entitled parade of pea-brained assholes. Researcher, does EPA really stand for entitled? No, not at all. We'll work on the sociolinguistic intricacies of humor as a coping mechanism later. Speaking of, do you maybe want some help? What I want is more consideration from our superiors. Don't we all? If you're gonna run us like rats in a cage, at least pat it up nice and pretty. They've given you a king and got me cramped down in a twin. Then yeah, I'll take your help. Go on then, grab a piece. Let's get going. You follow after the janitor, looking over the disassembled machinery that once formed the biotube. You squat, slide your hands under a metal coil, lift up, and... Yep, it's heavy. Get a look, that expression. Did our researcher here teach you that one, pal? Not exactly. The flesh is one, I believe. That's not good, is it? Nope. That's what you look like when you're way in over your head. Better get moving, researcher. We only got so long until your super superiors arrive. They're coming? Sure are. They send some folks out here every early morning when you should be asleep and I should be out of sight. So let's get a move on. We need to stack all this in the corner over here. There. You spend the rest of the night in near silence. Later, when you hit the sheets, the janitor's gruff voice replays in your head. But it's the unblinking gaze of the Vivus Glorium that lingers behind your eyes, watching, waiting, as if weighing the cost of your curiosity, as if appraising what you'll do next. Yep, it's learning much about us than as we are them. Okay. Demo complete. Well, what do y'all think about this? It is interesting. I can't quite decide how I feel about the specimen. I think it's interesting that it is learning speech. The artwork is really cool for it. I don't know if I trust the janitor either, but maybe that's just my skeptical nature kind of thing. But it's interesting. It's got some promise. But definitely a lot of, I'm sure there's a lot of factors for the different types of specimens due to the different stimuli and what you choose at the beginning. But yeah, I'm interested to see where this goes. Thanks for playing. We hope you enjoyed our heartfelt work. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Whoop. Whoop. Like I said, if you want to check out the game demo for yourself, please do. You can find it on Steam. It is also on itch.io. But yeah, I feel like they're putting a lot of good care into this. I am interested to see what happens in the full game.